give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Fight forever and ever and ever and ever.
The whole football stadium is packed, sold out. Woo! It's coming your way.
Hello everybody, welcome to Existential Crisis with Excalibur. I am the second part, and I'm joined here by Joey Janela and Matt Cross.
Yep.
These are two men that seem to be at odds with their existence at all times, trying to end it as quickly as possible. And that's why I'm happy to be sitting in the same room with you two.
Well, you used to try to kill yourself.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, you just recently broke your leg.
I did.
Were you shoveling the driveway?
No. I was doing the pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Little standing moonsault, little broken leg, you know.
Standing moonsault.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the dumbest little.
Oh, yeah, it's
and
the
you
worst.
Just get hurt.
Only move I've done in every match I've ever had. Ever.
Yeah. And just this one time.
Yeah. My leg blew up.
Super cool. Put my phone away so I can give you guys my undivided attention. So you broke your leg.
Yes.
Have you had any other significant injuries in your, this is a 20-year career almost?
Getting there.
Yeah.
I broke my finger twice. I broke my wrist. That was football. I broke my big toe in 3 places. I broke my nose. And now I broke my leg.
So you really trying to go around the horn.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So it's fit for 6 broken bones.
It's like that Mick Foley, that picture of Mick Foley back in the day.
Yeah.
On the back of his book.
Yeah, it's like all the injuries, the list.
Yeah. I remember getting the book when I was in college. You look at the back and you're just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, how did you ever do this?
And now I thought that same thing. I'm like, I can do my own little
diagram.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. No.
So you did your thumb.
Yeah, that's
Was
it.
Was that you or was that Big John?
That was.
I mean, who would you put it more on?
John, because he for no reason had barbed wire at the bottom of the truck.
Oh, cool.
Nobody was gonna see the barbed wire.
Yeah.
From the huge fall?
Yeah. He had barbed wire at the bottom. I said, John.
it's like, oh, I'm gonna put some snakes and some broken glass down there too.
There was absolutely no reason for the barbed wire. So we get there and I'm like, why is the barbed wire necessary? He's like, I'll cushion the fall.
You know what else would cushion the fall?
Yeah.
A fucking cushion.
Yeah, and that's what ripped up my fucking hand because I slapped out for some reason. I don't know why. Off a fucking 30-foot roof bump and it went right through my finger. So.
That's why wrestling's awesome. You alone know that.
Yeah, nobody else knew that there was barbed wire.
How many things in
Well,
matches
actually,
happen?
your surgeon probably knew there was barbed wire.
But they had some street aerial views of if you watch the DVD back, it's mad epic. It's like you see after the chaos, you see me in the truck mangled, oh my fucking thumb is hanging off. John's like untangling barbed wire out of my hair like he's like my ultraviolet stepfather.
That's the most perfect description of John's ending I've ever heard.
ProWrestlingTees.com/ultraviolet.
Because he is pretty abusive, like some stepfathers tend to be.
Yeah. He actually asked me, I was looking for a place to live. My mom, I'm still living with my mom. Just want to put it out there. The bad boy still lives at home.
But the bad boy lives rent free.
Yeah, I live rent free. I'm still young. But she basically kicked me out for a few weeks, and John found out, and John goes, "Hey, kid, you want to move in with me? Take care of my kids?" I swear to God.
Just before or after you fell off the edge?
This was last month.
Oh.
Well, I like that you say fell. Like it was an accident. You know?
He wanted me to move in and nanny his kids.
This is like a real Ian Rotten situation.
Yeah, he's like my ultraviolet stepfather, for real.
This is
That's it.
This is genuinely surprising. I didn't really know what we were going to talk about, but I think we could mine this for a good 30 minutes.
You work for John.
I worked
You
for
worked
John.
Yep.
Yeah, we worked for John at the same time.
Same time.
John,
Really bizarre for me to be calling him and or refer to him or have him referred to as John.
yeah, for me too. He's always Andy.
Yeah, he's Andy.
But my favorite John memory was
John.
one of many, which is probably gonna be a recurring segment on the show. Is we were really I'm the host. And I'm supposed to be asking you guys questions, but I'm just gonna take it over and tell my shitty stories. We were backstage, and I think it was the Cage of Death where they had the two rings next to each other.
Oh yeah, the 6.
Oh yeah, the picture you sent me where you're a little kid in the crowd.
Yeah, dual dimension they call it.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there backstage, me, Super Dragon, Generic Costin, and we're right by like kind of the front of the locker room, and John comes back and says, "All right, we have a company meeting. I'm gonna take CCW back to how it was in 2002, before these faggots from California and Montreal showed up." And we're just like, "Hey John, how's it going?" He's like, "I know you're there." And it's like, "Oh, okay, cool. We're just going out and having the best match of the show. Don't worry about it." And that's what we did.
That's you were on that show too. You wrestled Sanjay.
Oh, was that when you did you climbed up the...
Why don't I remember? But that was before that show.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I'm
that.
such a fucking filthy mark. Especially because of CCW. Like,
Well, obviously, I left CZW like not under the best of terms.
Does anybody leave CCW under the best of terms?
And then Sonjay came up with the idea of bringing me back. And he pitches the whole thing to me, and I'm like, well, it sounds good to me, but I don't know if like Zandig is going to be down with this. He's like, well, I'm going to talk to him and everything. He's like, he says he's cool. So I was like, okay. So we make the plans for me to fly in. Sonjay's going to pick me up at the airport and stuff. And then I think maybe the day of, Sonjay calls me, and he's like, well, instead of me getting you at the airport, it's going to be Zandig. A dude who, on the phone, told me that someone someday was going to break my nose because I left. So he threatened me. And now he's gonna get me at the airport. I'm like, Sanjay, man. Dude,
Where you sent me at? Did you owe Sanjay money at the time?
I was like, you could not, like, dude can't get me from the airport.
what fucking terminal are you?
Terminal B? You're flying on United? Southwest?
So Sanjay gets me. We're driving to the arena, and he's like, oh, we gotta swap you out because I was gonna be like a surprise guest because they really had to hide me. He's like, so we're meeting at the Oregon Diner or wherever it was down there, and he's like, Zandig's gonna get you from there. And I'm like, dude, I'm never gonna make it to the show. He's gonna kill me. Like, so I'm shoot scared. I'm like, Zandig's a scary dude. I left again under bad terms. I'm like, oh man, I'm dead. So Sanjay drops me off at the Oregon Diner. There's Zandig. To his credit, he was completely cool. I hop in his like giant truck. I'm like, well, I'm never gonna be seen from him again. He like goes to get out, forgets to put it in park. So he's getting out of his truck. It starts rolling toward another vehicle. So I'm like, am I about to get beat up? Gets out of his car. It's about to hit another car. So I'm like, oh good, I'm kind of off the hook now. He's about to get a car accident. So even if he's gonna beat me up, it's gonna fucking come off his game. Maybe I have a shot here. So he had to run back in his car and hop in before it hit another car, which he was able to do. So that kind of diffused the situation maybe anyway. And he was cool when he just drove me that extra block, but man was I scared and ended up being okay. But holy crap, I was like, dude cannot pick me from the airport.
Do you think he would have traded insurance with the owner of the car?
That's it. They probably would have got a mother effer bomb or something for their troubles, I would imagine.
I don't really even know the guy that well. Like, I've
Does
talked to him
anyone?
A few times, like he told me he was gonna throw me off a roof. He told me he was gonna fuck my mom. That's what he said.
A promo or?
Oh,
Well, I mean, he is your ultra-violent stepfather,
he
so...
is, so
He has, yeah. That's
the pieces
This
of
is
the
right.
puzzle are starting to come
Yeah,
together.
I love that we've been able to unpack this right here. So the show, I guess I didn't want to do like just like shoot interviews and like stories and stuff. I just kind of wanted to do more like backgroundy stuff and like what makes you just like shit people would talk about like on the road. When you were Joey, when you were a kid, what did you imagine yourself doing? Like, what did you like to pretend to do?
Wrestling.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
it like all wrestling?
Yeah, I wasn't good at school. I was kind of like a bad kid.
Was that where the bad boy came from?
Yeah, basically.
Or were you just a big fan of like the 1980s bodybuilding?
I really
brands?
was a bad boy. Like I had like the detention record, I had the suspension record, and I knew I wasn't gonna go like to college or anything.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'll try this wrestling thing. Basically I when I was 15, I found a a guy who did wrestling. He was kind of real. He was a real shitty indie wrestler, and he kind of gave me the back door.
Do you want to name him?
This guy Dirtbag Dan. That's his
Dirtbag
name.
Dan.
Yeah.
Are you related to Dimebag Darrell?
I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
But he kind of got me in the back door. He's like, all right, go set up this ring, and then yeah.
Just kind of went from
Yeah,
there.
you just go in the ring and fuck around and teach yourself how to wrestle.
But like when you were like little, like when you just remember like
yeah, when I wrestle,
like
yeah. As soon as I had the opportunity to get in there and get in the business, I made that sprint. Like it was like, yeah, 100%. That was it. So that's what I figured I was doing since I was a little kid.
Crazy. Matt, before we continue, just want to point out that he just totally bypassed the Bad Boy bodybuilding brand.
Oh, well, it's probably too young.
Yeah, way too young.
I got it.
Yeah, thank you.
appreciate it.
I bet somebody at home got it, but
I think I had a sticker.
yeah, oh yeah. I had a tank top, even though I have like bad shoulders, like that. You know, like the tank tops would fall out and be like a spaghetti strap down. So when you were a kid, what would you do?
I remember being like really interested in just the idea of extreme. I don't know if I knew what that even meant.
Right.
But I remember seeing some sort of like guy that was like base jumping or something. And then I think it might have been like an MTV show.
Do you remember the MTV show where they would go around to like different like schools and kids were like, oh, we're gonna do freestyle walking, and they would just like run and like jump off park benches and like, you know, like
my buddies and I were doing that at the time.
Yeah.
And we were so pissed because we felt like that they got the exposure. Because we would, like, some shoes had that, like, little indent on the sole. In that sole...
Well, so you do, like, rail slides?
We would put a piece of metal in that and then duct tape it on each side. So we could do, like, rail slides, literally. We called it freestyle footing. And then when that thing showed up on TV, we're like, who are these motherfuckers? Like, they stole our thing. Because we were doing, like... And all that those guys did was, like, run around and jump. And
Yeah,
like,
they're
woo!
just... Yeah.
And I was like, no, man. Because we were, like... It's not as cool as skateboarding, obviously. But we're, like, bombing giant rails and, like, taking, like, huge falls and stuff. So dumb stuff like that was kind of always in my, like... I just remember going to the woods and, like, running and jumping into ravines and just idiot stuff like that, you know? I always had, like, a lot of energy or whatever and I always wanted to, like, just run around and be...
So you guys weren't, like, into dinosaurs or anything?
I like dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to dinosaurs.
Okay.
I never wanted to grow up and be a dinosaur.
Well, okay. That's cool.
I actually seen a video of you back in the day when you were younger. It was like you kind of like kicked up a building. Like it was like a...
Oh, yeah.
It was like a gap.
Yeah.
It's like, put your legs in.
There was, like... It was Kent State University, and my buddy was going there at the time, and then he had a friend that was going there, and it was like this cute girl or whatever, and we knew that that was her apartment building, and it was on like the 4th floor or something, and I was like, oh, I can like Ninja Warrior myself up there, and like tap on her window or whatever, because I assumed that once I got up there, she would let me into her room, but since it's like a college dorm, they couldn't open the windows or something, so I get up there, and I'm like, tap, tap, I'm so cool, and she comes to the window, and I'm like, hey, she's like, oh my god, and I'm thinking like, okay, like, because at this point now I'm getting really like,
yeah, your legs
tired.
are like, yeah.
So like I made it, like now let me in. And she's like, oh, I can't open it. And I'm like, I don't think I can get out. Like, so that video you saw, I'm like hiding pure panic because I was like so close to, I had a Spider-Man mask on also. But I was like, I'm going to fall and die. And I know my friend's taping it, so I'm like, great, I'm dying on video right now.
So, one of my favorite things of yours is when you travel around the world and you would just stand on tall shit because I am absolutely petrified of heights.
I would say that I'm scared of heights also though.
So there's a picture of him at the Coliseum in Rome, and he's doing a handstand on like the fucking rail that goes around the top row of the Coliseum, and he just like cool as a cucumber.
Here's my thing, and I don't like. I feel like I'm giving away too many secrets, but if you stand on top of something, like you are that much farther from it, so it's almost scarier. So you stand up, you're 5 or 6 feet away from the thing. If you're in a handstand, your head is closer to the ground, so you don't feel like you're 5 or 6 feet away from that danger. You're only like a foot away from that danger. So for me, it's not as scary to be in a handstand.
That is complete bullshit. That makes no sense.
It makes sense to me. That's a better. Furthermore, like I'm comfortable doing handstands in like really sketchy things because you fall back where you came from. So as long as you like,
you never feel like you're gonna tip forward.
You can theoretically tip forward.
No, it's not theoretical. You can actually tip forward
But you can't go side to side. So if like certain depth is here and certain depth is here, I'm comfortable doing a handstand facing this way. Because like you've never seen someone in a handstand be like, I'm in a handstand, oh, I'm gonna go to the side. It doesn't happen. You're either going this way or this way, and you can save both those.
So
I think.
Matt's a lot more coordinated than we are.
Yeah, I'm that athletic.
Yeah, I
This footage will get replayed when I die doing what this someday. And it'll be like, what an idiot.
I look like an 80-year-old Mil Mascaras.
Oh, you mean a young Mil Mascaras?
Yeah, but no, like Mil Mascaras.
No, it's
Mil Mascaras, like now.
Can you do a handstand?
Yeah, we could try.
No, I don't mean right now. I mean, I just
Well, I do.
Theoretically.
Let's try. No, let's do it.
Can we? Do we have room to do handstands?
Yeah, why not?
Let's see.
Do I need to move stuff out of the way?
Let's see if I still got it.
Back there?
Am I
good?
major?
Good back there?
Let's see.
Right by the corner, the table that you might fall into.
Okay.
Do it by the glass table and the expensive microphones.
Okay, let's do it. How about right here?
Doing props, man. This
Right here?
is really, really not how I expected things to go.
Let's see if I can do it.
Don't hurt yourself.
Move. That's
That's pretty good. Would you do that at the top of the Roman Coliseum?
I'd rather have Zandig throw me off another.
Oh,
Shit, that was fucking cool, right, guys?
that's gonna be the second recurring segment of the show. It's like, can you do a handstand?
Yeah.
That's gonna be in the trailer. It's gonna be like us talking. It's like, you do a handstand? Yeah, that's just it.
And then it'll end with you getting thrown off the building.
Yeah, Zandig busted.
Yeah, do we have rights to that footage? Okay, so you knew you always wanted to be a wrestler. You started training. Were you doing backyard stuff before you started training?
I was backyarding and wrestling.
Was it? I mean, were you doing it before you even started setting up the ring and shit?
Oh yeah, I was backyarding. I was actually. The thing is, like when MySpace first came out, I would go find all the local backyard wrestling companies in the county, and I would just like hit them up like, hey, let's do like cross promotional shit. So basically, I was like making towns before I was.
Brother.
That's it.
Yeah, you had a business plan.
That's it.
When you and Josh started backyarding, it was just like two dudes jumping off shit, right?
Yeah, basically it was just Josh was such a huge wrestling fan,
Mhm.
and we were just super into ECW. You know, it was the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever at the time. And he had 3 younger brothers, so
Mhm.
of course they're beating the crap out of each other their whole lives. And then he had just introduced me to ECW, so when that would end the pay-per-view, I was like, more, I need more of this.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, my brother and I beat each other up when we taped it. Do you want to watch that? And then so I'd watch all those. I'm like, yes. And I was doing gymnastics at the time,
Yeah.
so I'm watching Super Crazy and Tajiri, and I'm like, yo, guys, like, I can do this stuff. And they're like, what? Seriously? I'm like, no, for real, I can do it. And then they're like, well, come over. I'm like, when's the next time you're going to beat each other up in the backyard? I'll come over and do a backflip on you, whatever. So that's how it started.
Do we have room to do handstands?
Yeah, why not?
Let's see.
Do I need to move stuff out of the way?
Let's see if I still got it.
Back there?
Am I
good?
major?
Good back there?
Let's see.
Right by the corner, the table that you might fall into.
Okay.
Do it by the glass table and the expensive microphones.
Okay, let's do it. How about right here?
Doing props, man.
Right here?
This is really, really not how I expected things to go.
Let's see if I can do it.
Don't hurt yourself.
Move. That's 10
That's pretty good. Would you do that at the top of the Roman Coliseum?
In 11 years.
Well, I mean, you were hurt today when they threw you on those fucking ladders. That shit just, that's painful.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit. I have to say. I'm like an X-Men. That's like my secret power.
Yeah, you're like Wolverine.
Yeah, you take a bump. Like I know how to prepare my body for it. So.
I can't wait to revisit this thing. I'm gonna buy the
I'm
updated
gonna be like
version.
this. I'm gonna look like fucking Sabu.
When you're 30,
Yeah.
when you're 35 and you're listening to this thing, and you're just like,
Fuck out of here.
what was I talking about? I really thought I had Wolverine powers.
Get the fuck out of here, kid.
Well, fucking vet, I'll teach you how to bump on a ladder.
I know how to fucking wrestle.
So, Matt, when you broke in to actual wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, backyard wrestling it is actual wrestling, but it's just not in the eyes of,
Sure.
you know, that. Well, so it's interesting because we come from a similar time, and you come from like the generation behind us. And was it? Do you think you had an easier time breaking in because of your ability, like breaking into the actual to professional wrestling, or do you think there's more opportunities now?
Compared to guys now, I mean, this is gonna make me seem like such the old grizzled vet guy, but I feel like it's so much easier.
I agree with you, by the way. Yeah.
And like, there's no way it's not, because like the garage in Cleveland, Ohio that I trained in, where you couldn't do suplexes because the ceiling was so low and you couldn't hit the ropes on two sides because it was squeezed into literally a working garage. In the back they were like rebuilding trans motors and whatever. So like it was like such a different time.
There was such a stigma associated with it.
In Cleveland, it was just steel workers, so these like old grizzled like men, like everyone was for sure a man, and they're like 40, and
they're all
like
steel thick mill, and like they just do like match with the like punch, kick, body slam, like
the idea of like an 18, 19, or 20-year-old even going there was like, what? So like we walk in like, we want to learn to wrestle, and they're like, oh, can't wait to kick your ass, So it's like they would just beat the crap out of us, and it's like those stories you like hear about, but I'm like, oh, I did sort of get in at that time. It was just like we were just getting beat up.
Yeah, I mean, like we came in at a time where there was still like this weird old guard of wrestlers that's like guys that were, kind of like the WCW Saturday night guys, like the enhancement talent on Saturday night. But those were the guys that were like in the main event of like the local shows, and you'd get there and be like, who the fuck are these kids? And it really was. It created a difficult time or a difficult area to get respect in, to have your peers respect you. Would you say that's your experience?
I kind of broke in at the end of the era. I broke in like 2005. So it was kind of like that era of the guys who trained you guys. They were kind of like dwindling out. They were still doing like, local shows, putting over Tito Santana, that bullshit, But yeah, like I feel like when I got in, like backyard wrestling was looked down on, and then like the generation after that was like, I think everyone did like backyard wrestling because it's like the Hardy Boys and like fucking Mick Foley, and like you were kind of part of that era too. That those guys kind of probably inspired you.
Oh, he was literally in a video game about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had it, but yeah, I feel like it's a lot easier to just say I'm a wrestler.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like there's a lot more schools as well, and that's it. Maybe just a lot more schools and a lot more facilities to train in.
Yeah, I think people now are just a lot more open-minded. They if they see talent in somebody, then they're like, oh, it doesn't matter what your background is, just as long as you have the abilities. Like it's wrestling seems a lot more inclusive now.
Yeah, I mean, like because I'm, for example, in that position or age or experience or whatever, that would be my role if I wanted it, and I'm not going to do it. And that's not even really speaking for me. It's like it's almost our generation. We decided that like
we're just going to be cool. Yeah.
Because there could be some 18-year-old starting, and I could wave you up and see if you want to do that. Why? That hazing sort of like frat boy mentality. I'm like, no, I'd rather just be cool with somebody and be like, here's a pointer or whatever, or just I don't know, because there's no point really.
And those guys still exist.
Yeah.
But I think those guys are kind of few and far between, and they kind of stick to their little fiefdom. They don't necessarily travel. It's like none of those guys are like, traveling around the state, like all over the U.S. or like getting booked in Europe and Japan and stuff like that. It's like they're just kind of the king of like coal region pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Journeymen.
Yeah. So when do you see yourself retiring, Matt?
Ooh. Why don't you ask him that, huh?
Because you're closer to it.
Says who?
That's true, actually.
He's like fucking thrown off a fucking building.
It's true. But you might fall off a building one day.
I have no idea. I feel like, I'm sure it's happened, but I feel like no one chooses. No one's like, I'm done with wrestling. Some injury takes them out. Is my thought. So it seems weird and like speculative to be like, well, I'll do it until this point and then I'll be done.
You don't have.
I'll go until the wheels fall off.
You don't have an expiration date in mind.
And when the wheels fall off, I'm done. No, because when I was like 18, I was like 24. I remember thinking 26 at some point. I remember thinking 30 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every time I make an age, I pass it by years and years, and I'm like, so what's the point of even? I'm gonna go until the wheels fall off. And especially now where the industry as a whole is on its way up, I'm just so grateful to be involved still as wrestling becomes cool. So now on the back end, I'm like being able to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
So I want to do it for as long as I can. But so I'm not gonna put any sort of date on it. I don't know.
But I mean, you have had times in the past where you're like, oh, I'm gonna like 30 or like whatever milestones.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, oh, certainly by 25 we'll be done. Certainly by 30, like, and all of them. It's just sort of once you hit that age, you're like, well, why would I stop? I still enjoy this. It's still cool, whatever. So I feel like any age I put on now, I'm still gonna like it. So it just seems silly to limit it.
Have you?
Yeah, like a few years ago when like WWE had that like cap. When they were saying, oh yeah, 30s they cut off 31. Remember that? They were like,
I
oh
think
yeah.
so,
Yeah, a couple years ago they were like, oh yeah, 30, 31 is cut off. Like if I don't make it by then I'll just like try to live a real life. Not wrestling anymore. But now that it's like the business is they're kind of like, you know, expanding that and they're more open-minded. I don't know. It depends. You know, I don't know how.
I mean, so it's like again, like until you're physically.
Yeah, until I physically
okay.
can, which could be tomorrow. I don't know. It's like,
Look at
that's it.
Marty Jannetty still doing it,
You're right.
and you know, you guys had a match. He did a Canadian Destroyer.
That's it.
Did you know Marty Jannetty gave him a Canadian Destroyer?
I do now.
It looks sick too.
It's a hell of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
like that's my deal. I was just like I do that Ethan Page deal where I just get people to give me Canadian Destroyers. My list right now is Zandig and Marty.
Oh, you had Zandy gave you one?
Yeah.
Holy shit! How did I not know that?
Yeah, it looked awesome. I know a bundle of light tubes.
I'd like to see that.
So
And then that'll be when we have the little window up here with the Canadian Destroyer. Do we have that footage? I don't know. Who knows? Oh, wait, I had a question. Oh, okay. So with the spring break stuff, with a lot of your, I mean, you basically got on my radar because of you're just kind of like doing. It sounds so dumb to say, but just like viral video kind of stuff. Like it's like viral marketing, basically. Did you see that as a way to get noticed, or did it happen to work out for you?
it's just
Or you like one day you're just like holy shit, this got a bunch of views.
Yeah, like right now wrestling is going in such a direction. It's like all these guys are such fucking athletes. They're incredible. Like I feel like I never like live up to that type of athlete. Like it's like a hybrid, like some kind of like they're making these guys in fucking factories these days. So I was like, shit, man. That I always thought to myself, yeah, I'm pretty good in the ring. You know, I know my way around the ring, and how can I get noticed? Like how can I make myself stand out from the pack? And the guy John Carlo, he was just a wrestling fan. The guy who edits all my stuff. He's just a wrestling fan, and he was doing shit from the crowd, doing videos. I'm like, these videos are awesome. And he basically was in the business a little bit beforehand, and he linked up with Dave Marquez in California, flew out there, learned from him, came back, and we linked up again, and we were just like, all right, let's just start making these videos. Let's just try to, do something different from everyone else, because everyone else is like, I feel like are too focused on, this wrestling and these moves. Like let's take it in a complete different direction. So I feel like that's what I'm doing, and I guess it's working.
It's working.
That's it.
Yeah. Matt, I mean, you were obviously your start predates YouTube by 10 years.
Yeah,
which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, right.
But when you guys started, you still had like an element of, that the virality or like sharing stuff, and like how did you initially get your footage out there?
We were sort of lucky in that when we had our Backyard Wrestling Fed, one of our buddies was just sort of like a nerd, so he understood like that internet. And then he made us like a website, which could have been like the first website of all time for all I know, some crappy GeoCities thing at the time. And then just uploaded some stuff, and he's like, I made you guys a website. And we're like, I don't know what that means, whatever. We just want to beat you up in the backyard. And And that's how like the Backyard Wrestling Company got in touch with us. Like through that, like Josh got an email to his like rvdbwf@aol.com email address, you know? And it was just like, do you guys want to send in your backyard footage? And we were more or less like done backyard wrestling by that time. So I remember him talking to me like, what do you want to do with this? And I was like, if somebody wants to see it, by all means. So that's like kind of a weird misconception I think with our stuff too, is people are like, oh, I've seen like some of your backyard wrestling stuff or whatever. You've seen all of it.
Yeah, that was
every match that I ever had is on those tapes. Wow. So that's not the best of my stuff. That's the entirety of my backyard career. So it's the whole thing that was like put on those tapes. And I'm not saying that we were the best at that time, because we definitely weren't. But I think of the stuff that happened to get sent in, we were the best of that batch. Mm-hmm. So we got lucky in that regard. And then, I don't know, I could put a sentence together. Josh is intelligent. We're college educated. So I think when they spoke with us, they were like, wait a minute. These guys, there's some potential here. Mm-hmm. Like they can sort of be the poster kids for this, because
they can do an interview.
We can send them out into the world, and inadvertently they'll end up selling our product or whatever. So I think that's kind of what helped us.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't actually start like taking like pro wrestling bookings until like you thought you were done with backyard wrestling, or?
We got booked on shows as backyard wrestlers.
Okay. Like you guys were just married together, like doing like you know, like we're booked, you know, in Delaware, and it's just gonna be Josh and Matt and
like JT Lightning, who's since passed away, but he's like the godfather of Cleveland wrestling. Mm-hmm. So EC3, Gargano, myself, Josh Prohibition, Ray Rowe, like everyone that's out of Cleveland had JT had a hand in.
Yeah.
So he basically approached us because we were getting some notoriety from all this backyard stuff. And he's like, look, you guys are already doing all the crazy crap. If I teach you when and how to do it, and you could do something in this business. So I have a school, like come to it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I had to sit down and be like, you know, is this something that I want to do? Because I think me as an individual, and I feel like I'm just learning this now as I get older, like I feel like I deal in extremes. So
just now?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, but weird examples of it. Look, it's like, when I was like 15, I was like straight edge spoke to me. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to be, straight edge makes sense. And that's like 20 years later, and I'm still straight edge. Like 5 years ago, I was like, I think I'm going to throw my razors out because like shaving's dumb. And like, it's been 5 years. So like anything I do, I just like go crazy with. So knowing that about myself, when I was like, am I going to wrestle or not? Because I knew like, if I do wrestling, like I'm going to do wrestling. So I had to, I had a little period of a month or whatever where I was like, is this something I want to pursue? And I decided I did, and then went to the training school with JT. But it's interesting because like we were doing backyard wrestling, we were getting booked at shows as backyard wrestlers, right. And then so I don't even have like my debut was this date against this guy against this. It's like a real gray area, muddy. Like when was I?
What year did you start training with JT?
2000, I think 2000 or 2001.
And then like the video game came out in 2001.
2003.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That far away from it. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I remember you were at the E3 that year.
Yes. Because the video tapes had come out.
Yeah.
So
okay.
those were like
so
2001.
Yeah.
And then years later, like 2 years later, I think.
Video game development. That's crazy. Like I thought it all happened like right around the same time. Like you know.
Like roughly, but not like because we were sort of.
There was a gap.
I mean, it was like a little awkward-ish, because like when it came out, it's like, backyard wrestling starring, by that point, we've been like 2 years into the indie scene, so then it was kind of like, how do we play this? Because you're almost like, well, I don't know, I'm not wearing the white pants anymore, I don't really want to be seen as a backyarder, like, are people going to frown upon it? And there are still those people that, there was some guy like, it's not, when I tell the story I said recently, it's not recently anymore, but there was a guy in Ohio that ran a promotion that wouldn't book us because we were like backyarders. And it was like, I think by that point I'd already wrestled Ultimo Dragon like at least once. And I'd been booked in other countries and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not booking you, you're a backyarder. And I was like, okay, man. like this guy in Canada will pay me and fly me and I'll wrestle Ultimo Dragon, but I can't wrestle for your crappy Ohio Federation because I'm a backyarder. That's fair enough.
That was like when I got in, like, I wasn't really trained, so, like, they would try to out us on like forums, like this kid's a backyarder, don't book him, and then promoters wouldn't book us because we were backyarders. So kind of like the same situation, but I was I was really untrained. I never went to a school or anything.
You just like
I think
set
I
up
just
the ring one
forward
day.
you.
and
Yeah, I
then,
was just like set up the ring, and then like they were like I learned how to bump, learn how to hit the ropes, learn how to lock up, maybe a wrist lock, like just from guys at the show, and then it was like 2 months later, they're like, hey, you want to sell some tickets, for this show, get some people in the building. I'm like, yeah, sure. I know how to wrestle. I trained here. Lied, that's how I got in. And I really stunk up the place.
What show was that?
NWS in Jersey. It was like the worst of the worst, like corny, like wrestling show where they bring in like either like the recently released like WWE guy like Orlando Jordan or some shit, or like a Nikolai Volkov. It was like.
Orlando Jordan versus Nikolai Volkov.
No, they never wrestled each other. If they did, that'd be pretty fucking dope. but
It's
no.
too good of an idea for
It'd
them.
be like
Giving
those
them
journeyman guys.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
put the same journeyman, or it'd be like Tom Brandy. He'd do like 3 gimmicks.
Yeah,
in
the
one
Patriot
night.
and
Patriot, South
South
Sincere,
Sincere, yeah.
Tom Brandy, and he'd wrestle the fucking the whoever was the name.
Yeah,
of the
the
show.
top guy.
But that's the show, and then the undercard was all fucking
sellers.
untrained ticket
Yeah.
sellers. And I was one of those. So.
What year was that?
Like 2006, 2007. I was still in high school.
Oh, cool.
So.
So yeah, I actually retired before you debuted.
Really?
I retired in 2006. My last match was it was a gauntlet tag match in Chikara. Joey and I teamed up, and I wore his trunks outside of my trunks. I had his headband on over my mask, and I remember at one point I was getting shot to the corner, and the headband came down over my mask, and I was just blindly running into the corner, and then I'm like, okay, it's got to be about here. It's like 3 steps or whatever, and then I turn, and then as I'm pulling the blindfold up, like I got rocked with something, and I was just like, that's not fun anymore.
That's it.
And that was it. And so it's like I didn't have like a retirement match. I didn't go
That was
out.
like your Ric Flair moment. Your Ric Flair climbing the blindfold.
Yeah. Again, not to make it about myself and my shitty stories. So, as you can see, this is the first time we're doing this. So you've taken the stunt approach to kind of cover up not to cover up, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't. That came out.
No,
wrong. I'm sorry.
Some people do think that.
No.
That's but I can go out there and have a.
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
I phrased that
No.
poorly.
I completely understand. It's just I like doing that.
Yeah.
It's the same. I guess the same adrenaline rush someone gets going skydiving or jumping off a building. What is that? What do they call that? Base jumping or BMX riding. Like that's what I like.
So it's just more fun for you to do that.
Yeah,
kind of
I was a big mark for like ECW, and there was a lot of craziness, and then I was a big fan for the Hardys and Mick Foley, and then CZW came into my life, and that's Mondo and all those guys. They would fucking mangle themselves. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. Like these guys fucking rule. Like even you guys like I used to download you guys off Kazaa, like LimeWire and shit. I was like, yeah, these guys are fucking awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go jump off the shed, hold my fucking legs, do some crazy shit, and fucking wipe out through like a board on like milk crates. But it was just like, and then I just like continued like throughout the years. When I first started, and I was just doing the local New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania indie scene, I would still do all these crazy bumps. And no one would ever see them, but it's just the way I like to wrestle. Like everyone has their style. Some people like to do the fucking grapple fuck shit, and some people like to do the fucking back and forth, the sequences and that speedy sprint style. This is my style. This is what makes me stand out from the rest.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I phrased that poorly.
No, it's not. I 100%.
No, but I mean, I saw you and Leo at CZW.
Came to that. Right?
Yeah, and you guys did the fucking back and forth. You did all that crazy shit, but then ultimately it became a Joey Janela style match rather than a Leo Rush style match. And I think actually that's a good storytelling asset to have, where it's like you can do both, but it's like ultimately I'm going to drag you into my world.
Like Shawn Michaels was the best. Like when it came to gimmick matches, Shawn Michaels was the fucking craziest. Like Bumper, like he would do all the stunts,
Mm-hmm.
all the big stunts, and it would always make for those epic moments and those big false finishes because you're like, shit, how can this guy kick out of this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how can this guy do this? You know, it just like just stuff like that was just like imprinted in my brain, and this is the way I wanted to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could do anybody's style. I can adapt to it. I'm at a point in wrestling now that, you know, I can go in anywhere and do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but this is just like if it's available and you let me, you know, if you let me showcase how I want to wrestle, you know, that's awesome. You know, especially in 2017, like with all this knowledge of concussions and your body getting fucked up, like it's just like it's like a lot of people are not doing this.
Do you worry about that?
No, I've rarely gotten hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Knock on wood. This is the only injury I've had. I've had plenty of concussions, but who hasn't? You know, people get concussions from forearm, you know, or clothesline, you know. So it's just, you know, I'll keep on doing it until the wheels fall off. But right now, I feel great. You know, I'm beat up sometimes, but so is
everybody.
other guys. Yeah, everyone's beat up. If you wrestle 3 times a weekend, you're gonna be beat up.
Yeah.
That's it, you know.
Is it? Are you still doing stuff that's fun for you, or do you feel like there's certain, now that you've been doing it for so long, there's certain expectations of a M-Dog match or of a Matt Cross match?
There's probably expectations, but nothing that I don't think that I can like fulfill or whatever. So it's still enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then to like kind of piggyback off his sentiment, I feel like I have some friends that aren't in the wrestling business at all. And like my one buddy, which is like a punk rock show, and we get there and he's like, oh, I can't like go in the pit. He's like, my neck's all messed up. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, I don't know, I slept weird like 4 days ago, and I just can't even. And I'm thinking in my head like, now I don't know if I'm rationalizing or justifying or just seeing what I want to see, but I feel like everyone gets effed up, so at least we're getting paid for it, and at least people are cheering.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're the flooring guy and you're on your knees all day and you're doing the flooring, your knees get effed up.
You get a bad back.
You know, it's like you're gonna get messed up. Like, I'll go to a chiropractor, I'll go to a doctor for various injuries over the years, and they're like, oh yeah, we see this a lot in people that, you know, work behind a desk on their computer because they're all hunched over a computer all day, so they have these same type of, and I'm like, they have the same injuries that I get falling off my head or falling off a building or lifting 1 million pounds in the gym. Like, I might as well do way cooler things than, if I'm gonna get effed up either way.
Yeah.
Now again, I don't know, someone could watch that and be like, he's just rationalizing his dumb decisions.
Mm-mm.
Could be true, you know. But I just find that it seems to me like you're gonna get messed up either way. I might as well get paid and get cheered for it and do what you love.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think actually in terms of longevity now, like as you mentioned, knowing more about, you know, concussions and kind of like sports science and that sort of stuff, taking care of your body now is, you know, guys know how to train, and guys know how to train specifically for wrestling, you know, like to how to strengthen things. Whereas before it seemed like, you know, it was just like, it was very general, like, oh, it was like a beach muscle workout, you know, and it's not necessarily like strengthening the parts of your body that you're actually using that you need to keep strong for a wrestling match.
I think the culture of wrestling changed a lot.
Yeah.
Because when you started, and that's what people like, I was straight edge when I started, and everyone told me, you'll never last. You remind me of this guy, and they broke down, and they started drinking, and they started doing this or that at this point. And I'm like, and I was just, I'm not that, I won't. Like, I know myself, and I won't. But that was always this, what was pushed on me, you know, and it's like, oh, you gotta party after the shows, you gotta blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's not me, you know, it's not
You
me.
can still have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go to all those parties.
Yeah.
Like, and I will be up till 5 a.m, and I'll be dancing, and I'll be going crazy, and everyone will think I'm on meth or some shit, but I won't be. Like, my ex-girlfriend, all the time, I remember people going up to her, she would tell me after the fact, and she'd be like, I'm so sorry. People would come up to her and be like, I'm so sorry about your boyfriend. And she's like, what? He's like, it was his drug use, you know, it must be just so annoying. And she's like, he's straight edge. And I'm like, right. She's like, all the time, just because I would go so hard everywhere. And like, that's not even humanly possible or whatever. But yeah, so it's like, I just think the culture of wrestling changed. So it wasn't just like we're more aware. Like, every wrestler dies at 16 years old, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
You know, 2 + 2 = 4. Drugs plus life equals you're gonna die. Like, you're not gonna escape it. Like, it's just to me, it's that simple of an equation. So I was like, nah, man, I want to be in for the long haul. Like, the longer I can not have a real job, the longer I can wake up at noon, the better. Sign me up. Like, if that is going to the gym and eating healthier and whatever, yep. I'd rather do all of that than wake up before noon. So for me, that's what it all kind of boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done drugs in my life. Like, I've never touched any drugs. I drink all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I love my alcohol, but I'm not an alcoholic by any means. But I feel like in the 90s and the 80s, a lot of these guys, they were just, obviously doing a lot of drugs, and that fucked them up too. The steroids can fuck you up more than, a lot of the other shit. I've never touched that, obviously. I look like fucking Tito Santana in 2016 or 17, whatever the fuck it is.
It's like an 80-year-old Mil Mascaras.
Yeah, 80-year-old Mil Mascaras.
Do you think Tito Santana and Mil Mascaras are the same person? Is that what we're supposed to draw from this?
I don't know. I see. We seen Tito Santana a couple of weekends ago. He tickled my girlfriend's belly.
There's the teaser.
She's right over there. But she really one of those. She was a cheerleader and gymnast. They're like, hey, you want to do this wrestling thing? She knew nothing about it until she got in, but she didn't know who Tito Santana was. She's like, who's this old Spanish guy tickling my belly like he went. So then we're in Target the next week and fucking. I don't know how we got on this topic, but we went to Target the next week and there's Tito Santana's figures right there. They're the only one. She's like, oh fuck, like that guy just tickled my belly.
That was tickle finger.
But yeah.
Did you buy it? The figure?
Oh, no, I took a picture.
Yeah, that's $10. I mean, that's, come on. So yeah, it is a different culture than it was. It's much different. And, I smoked pot once in high school. You just say that's like established my street cred.
Well, I don't really consider like marijuana. I don't smoke pot like too often.
Mm-hmm. It's not a destructive drug.
I don't think it's considered a drug, but I feel like it's like there's beneficial uses to it. I don't really smoke that once because I get paranoid, and every time I smoke weed, I think I'm dying of something. Mm-hmm. But it's just.
I mean, we all are dying technically.
Like, oh fuck! Oh shit! I'm gonna die tomorrow. I think I have cancer. But it's just like I think the culture is definitely different from what it was. There's a lot of things that can break down your body. Construction workers. They lift in stones all day and they're more mangled than fucking.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing about wrestling is that guys are better at preparing their bodies. Whereas like if you're a construction worker or something, those guys aren't. And this is not to cast aspersions on all construction workers or guys that are laying bricks or whatever, but they're probably not working out. They're probably it's just, they're doing their job and they have they have those repetition muscles, but they don't have like everything else. And so if they if they lift a microwave or something on the weekend and they lift it in a different way than they're lifting a steel beam or something. Not that they're lifting a steel beam, they're not Superman, but whatever. But it's like that's when they get fucked up and that's when they get sciatica and stuff like that. Whereas wrestlers I think are a little better prepared for it. But I mean it's not without risk. Like freak shit happens. Your thumb gets all fucked up. You break your leg on a standing moonsault. Does that ever give you pause? Do you ever stop and think like maybe I shouldn't?
It's just I've never really in 11 years. Like once again, I've been doing all this. Like even in the backyard, I was doing crazy stunts. Mm-hmm. I've only been injured once, and we all ache and stuff. But it's like I've had my concussions. I've had my fair share of concussions. So now I'm at a point where I know how to protect myself and like. My style is controlled chaos. Like you think my bump killed me, but I know how to protect myself from that stuff now. So it's just like sometimes when I get rocked, I'm like shit, man. Like I got rocked. Like that sucks. Like how long is this gonna how long do I want to do this for? I hate that feeling. But I feel like it's just gonna keep on going till the wheels fall off. I feel great. Not dead. My thumb is still attached. That's it.
Matt, do you ever have second thoughts about stuff?
I mean, it's hard. Like wrestling is, in a word, it's not advisable. It's not a good idea.
I mean, I don't mean the entire profession. I just mean it's like if somebody say somebody's like oh hey let's do this crazy shit together. It's like I don't know. There's like 100 people out in the crowd. Like do you ever find yourself like maybe we could do it some other way that's a little less crazy?
I mean, you get smarter, of course, as you progress in the business or whatever. I mean, I'll kind of as a rule of thumb, I don't tend to like peek out at the crowds ahead of time because I don't want to have that mentality.
You don't
if I
let it
look
affect
and
your
no one's there,
yeah.
then you're going to be much more motivated to be like, ooh, let's take it easy. And then like people are paying money one way or the other, so then there's like this guilt factor of like, you know, we all believe in ourselves or whatever. It's like we have to give. It's much easier said than done to be like, let's take it easy tonight, brother. You know, when we go out there, we're not. We're not. You know, like we can't. So it's like we're gonna kind of go nuts anyway. So I try not to look to see if there's people. It's like, well, I'm gonna go hard either way. But you get smarter. I mean, you get smarter because it's like you want this. Or I'll speak for myself. I want this to be a career. I want to do it for as long as I can, and like as long as I can avoid a real job in the real world and whatever I'm running from, the better. So it's like. With that in mind, I want to be as healthy as I can moving forward. So you definitely get smarter about stuff, and it's like, well, let's not like. I don't think I'm gonna be like falling off a building. Like when I saw that, I was like,
who knows? You never know.
That's true. You might wrestle Joey Janela. You might fucking throw you off a building.
Yeah, it might be like the passing the torch. Like now I'm Zandig. Like,
yeah, you're the ultraviolet stuff.
Yeah, that's it. As soon as he threw off the building, my gut started to grow. You know, I just need to work on my tan again. You know, my hairline maybe recede a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it.
To be fair, I didn't have to get thrown off a building for my guts to start to grow.
Well, yeah.
How many times have you wrestled Ultimate Dragon? No, I'm talking to Joey.
Oh, me? No, none.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Matt, how many times have you wrestled?
I think 13th.
That sucks. That sucks that I never got to wrestle.
Well, he's still wrestling.
He's still wrestling.
He wrestled. No, I did a show with him in C4 last year, and I was kind of pissed that I wasn't in the match. I was like, fuck Ultimo Dragon. I did an Ultimo Dragon seminar before,
really?
So I guess I kind of wrestled him. I wrestled around him in the seminar.
Hey.
So that's it. I wrestled Ultimo Dragon, and we physically wrestled in a ring.
So it's 13-1 is the scorecard. 13-1-0.
We were doing these tours in Spain, and they weren't televised or anything. This was the first time that I had this experience of doing the same match every night.
Oh, yeah.
So we would just go to different, get on the bus, next town in Spain, get on the bus, so on and so forth. So it's him and I every night, and we're literally having the same match, which I thought was kind of cool maybe on paper, but I ended up not liking it at all because it takes like all the adrenaline out because you're just like, that's not what we do.
Go through the motions.
Yeah, exactly. I remember like before the one match, and these are like 12,000 people arenas packed. I remember telling the ref, like, we're in the ring and stuff, and I'm like, yo, man, punch me in the face. And he's just like, what? I'm like, you gotta hit me or something, because I don't feel anything right now. Like, I'm not in the zone. Like, I gotta get, like, I gotta hit or something.
Yeah.
But, so we're having the same match. On the last day of the tour, I went up to him and I said, oh, Ultimo-san, tonight, same match. And he goes, oh, tonight, totally different. Oh, shit, really? Okay, what are we gonna do? No, same. He's hit me with a couple of those. We also did a show for a group called UWA Hardcore in Toronto, and they were awesome. And they did this joint promotion where it's like UWA versus Toryumon. Mm-hmm. So Ultimo brought all the students over, and it was awesome. And Jushin Thunder Liger was on the show. So I thought, my finisher has always been the shooting star. So I was like, oh, tonight, no shooting. Because Ultimo came up to me and he said, tonight, are you shooting star? I said, oh, no, Liger-san is here, so tonight, me, no shooting star. No, you do, the shooting star. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know Liger. I've never met him. I feel that disrespectful. I don't, this thin ice wrestling stuff. No, you do a shooting star. I mean, he's your boy, Ultimo. Like, is that okay? Do you think it's a good idea? Yeah, you do shooting star. Okay, if you want, if you think that's the best you do shooting star. Okay, I'll do the shooting star tonight. Yes, you do shooting star, maybe Liger kill you. I was like, oh, what? No, kidding. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, what's your
am I doing
move?
it or not tonight? I don't know, so I did it.
Yeah.
And I came to the back, and both of them was the best moment for me because they were both giddy. Mm-hmm. And Liger's oh, so good, so good, going crazy for my shooting star, and he was just those guys are both amazing, so that was a cool moment for me or whatever. Mm-hmm. But also it was kind of he can be funny, but it definitely warmed up to me. It was definitely different from the first time meeting him to even the matches, though we had that one tour where they were all the same. Mm-hmm. I don't think he did an Acai moonsault until the 11th match.
Oh, till he knew you.
Yeah. There was definitely and then he definitely has his match. Mm-hmm. I remember doing another show with him somewhere, and he basically asked me to tell the other guy the match. So he's like, oh, you tell him the match. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I'm like, here's what you and Ultimate are gonna do.
And then you're gonna get up and you're gonna do shooting star press. I can't do a shooting star press.
Yeah.
Well, fucking Ultimo expects it, so.
Yeah, well, you're in trouble. Well, you got about an hour to learn.
Yeah. So, when you were flying to Japan and Sanjay told you that Liger was going to pick you up at the airport, were you worried that Liger was going to kill you?
Yeah, until his car was left in park.
So you've given up shaving, but you still get your hair cut.
Yeah.
Is it because somebody else does it?
No.
Or do you cut it yourself? It looks
No.
pretty good if you cut it yourself.
Yeah, wait, if I could use myself, it'd be amazing. No, I like, I don't know. I want to look like a nice homeless guy or something. Like, I look like, or at least I don't know, it's like some dude, like I was given the choice between like, he can either have a gym membership or a home. I guess he chose the gym membership. Like, so, I don't know.
Okay.
I think I speak differently, eat differently, train differently, think differently. So to me at this point, not to sound like weird or whatever, but I think the beard to me is like symbolic of that. Like I want people, and now they're sort of trendy, so it doesn't really work. But like initially when I started growing this 5 years ago, they weren't cool at all. And at that point, I wanted people to look at me and be like, well, that's different. Because then it's like a precursor to meeting me and being like, oh, this guy doesn't speak, train, act, look, think like we do. And it's like, I don't. So I almost want to visually set myself apart. Because it's like, I don't think I'm like many, if anyone else. So.
See that weird homeless guy you wrestled Ultimo Dragon 13
Yeah.
How many times have you wrestled Sabu?
Only once.
Really?
Really?
And it was right after this very serious injury that he had, like where he was hospitalized for 2 or 3 months at a time. And I thought it'd be really interesting to know, because he's like, yeah, my doctor said I'm done.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, man, this is a great question to ask Sabu. Like, have you always had the same, like, does he have, like, the family practitioner or whatever it's called, you know, like, does he have the same doctor? Because you don't imagine that he does. And he said that he did. And I was like, oh, it's even more interesting. So a guy that's just been with them, like, in the trenches for so many years and getting effed up, right? And this guy basically said, he's like, yeah, it's the same doctor. And then he said that the doctor told him, like, you're done, man. So I was like, holy crap. And he's like, but no doctor's going to tell me when I'm done. Like, I'm going to make the decision. And I was like, okay. So he had just been hospitalized for like 2 or 3 months. And this was like his first match back. I remember him being like, I'm real nervous, man. And I thought, I'm like, oh, haha, you know. And he's like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, is he messing with me? Because it's not helping. Like, what am I supposed to... And then, like, we got in the ring. Anything we had called was just, who knows?
Didn't happen.
Like, he told the ref to tell me to take him down. So, like, I shoot a leg or something right off the bat. As soon as he hit the ground, he's like, oh, I hit. I'm done. So I got him, like, a headlock on the ground. And I'm like, so what? You know, and he's just yelling my hip, I'm done. And I'm like, do I pin him? Like, is that gonna be the match? Like, go to lock up, shoot the leg, 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm the best, guys. I just chilled there. Like, I'm the best wrestler ever. I was like, I don't know what to do. He just keeps saying he's done. It was just a really weird experience. But
for some reason, I thought you wrestled Sabu a lot more times.
no, I wish. I sort of wish.
Dude, I had a match with him like in October. It was the worst match of my life. He was like, he looked like the Crypt Keeper. Legit. Not that I love Sabu, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, same.
And I finally got to happen, and it looked like I was wrestling the Crypt Keeper. He didn't have a hip. He was going, oh, I can't walk. Yeah, fucking yelling at me, calling me a piece of shit during the match. Because I was pulling on his hip.
When I showed up at the show, before I'd even met him, I saw in the corner of the locker room, he has a coat hanger, and he's like bending it, and like bending it, and it snaps, you know. And he takes those 2 pieces, puts them together, and he's bending it, and it snaps. And I'm just like, do I say hi to him now? Do I tell him we're working tonight? Like, what is he doing? Then he takes this like mangled metal thing, starts taping up like the base of it, like a handle. I'm like, is he making a fucking shank? Like, what is he doing? And then, so I'm like, maybe he's making like a bootleg knee brace. You know, I'm still trying to think positive.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a knee brace, definitely not shit.
MacGyver knee brace.
Yeah. Then he goes, I see him grab the taped handle and go like this. So I'm like, motherfucker just made a shank, man. Like, what's going on? Furthermore, I see him take it and then put it in his boot. I'm like, we don't learn about this in wrestling school. Like, am I like, what's up with the shiv you just put in your boot? Mm-hmm. Like, do I address that? Do I not? Like, what am I doing? Like, it was just the weirdest.
He sends you, he gets you in the corner, he's like, bounce up, come back, watch for the shiv. What?
What? And I think after the match, Josh Prohibition was on the show also. I think he still has it. I think he took it smartly. and has it somewhere at his house. Because we were like, we love Sabu. So
Yeah,
we're like, oh, cool, we have
was
this.
the best, and I got to wrestle. I was like, oh my god. He was like, his hip was fucked up. He was like, I was like, he's throwing all these running spots. Like, yo, can you do that? Like, you can't even walk. And he goes, kid, I know how to fucking wrestle.
Oh.
all right, Sabu. So then we go in the ring, and all the spots he called, he couldn't do because he couldn't walk. You know, he does that fucking spot. He whips you in the buckle. You take the chest. You come out. And he hits the ropes. Gives you the fucking clothesline. Like, he was fucking wrecked. And he was like, start pulling on his hip and shit by accident. He was like, fuck you, kid. Like, it was like, I was like, I'm looking down. I'm like, holy shit, my life has come full circle.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But I never wrestled Ultimo Dragon, but I got to wrestle like
Mango. The craziest matches.
Mango Taboo. I wrestled Danny Bonaducci. Like,
What?
yeah, it's just like, that's my list. Marty Jannetty,
You just
Zandig,
saw Scott Norton.
Scott Norton. Like, you guys get to wrestle like, you got to wrestle probably Liger, right?
No.
Never Liger. Dragon. Who else?
Were there not?
No, because you those crazy European tours were nuts.
Yeah,
Because
you
you
had
had
those.
like you had Pac on there.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean that he wasn't like, he wasn't who he is now. But it's like they had like a bunch of dudes on there. Like
Yeah.
now I can't even remember. But
Yeah, I've like always been luckily on the like just out of WWE circuit somehow. So despite never having worked like a minute for WWE, I've been able to like finagle myself on those like that tour circuit. So I don't know how or why or like.
But like who were the dudes on those shows and the Spain shows and
Like Rikishi.
yeah, that's like yeah, and it was all
like Mr. Kennedy.
Were you on the Warrior?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh fuck, the one where you wrestled Orlando Jordan.
Yes, I was there.
Like, yeah.
So why is this happening?
I wrestled like Juventud Guerrero in like a ladder match that
Yeah.
day, and there was like 16,000 people, but I was like, ladder match? I don't know. I was like, how much do we want to hit these ladders, man? Thinking he's gonna be like, yeah. Like, Juve's not the youngest dude.
Yeah.
And he's done everything. He's amazing, and he's like, oh, you don't want to hit the ladders, bro? I'll hit the ladders, bro. I'm like, I'm not trying to like bitch out of anything, but he's like, why don't you like? I'm like, I just don't have any good ideas. He's like, why don't you power by me on the ladder? I'm like, cause you'll die. What do you mean? What like, don't you fucking dare powerbomb me on the ladder, you know?
So if there's 100 people in the crowd, you're like, fuck it, let's go out there and do everything. But if there's 16,000 people in the
yeah,
crowd,
like-
you're like, whoa,
Oh
guys.
shit, there's 60,000
Yeah.
people. We're at the Coliseum in fucking Portugal.
Yeah, all these people paid all their money,
Right.
but you know what? Fuck, I'm 16.
Who knows? We're wrestling like every night.
They're here to
You know,
see
we travel
Rikishi.
and- Yeah, they're there to see the Warrior, you know. But yeah, that was pretty wild. Like to be on his like, what was his last show ever?
I did one. I actually. This is a funny story. Michael from Highspots will remember this. He actually needed a cameraman for NEW shows in Connecticut and New York, and Warrior was on the shows. So I was like, holy shit, yeah, fuck yeah. And he's like, we'll give you some money. I'm like, the only condition is I'll do it if I get to meet the Ultimate Warrior, because he's like one of my favorites, like the Ultimate Warrior. I'm like, fuck yeah. So I'm driving to this show, about to go film for Highspots, do the floor cam, and about an hour into my trip, I start following this limo. I'm like, oh, weird. So then like an hour goes by. It's like a almost 3 hour drive. I'm like, I'm still following the
You're
same limo.
driving to rural Connecticut?
Yeah. I think it was like Poughkeepsie, New York.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm driving. I'm following this limo. I follow the limo right to the show. So we pull up to the front of the building, and it opens, and it's the Warrior in full fucking gimmick.
He drove like 3 hours in his shit.
I guess he was getting ready in the limo. No shirt, big overcoat, fucking paint on his face. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is the greatest moment. I didn't get to meet the Warrior.
Oh.
That promoter was a piece of shit, dude. So, fuck you, promoter. You ruined my childhood dream.
Okay, so I was actually going to ask a question. It's like, what was the worst match you've ever had? Not like, like, oh, my first match or whatever, but, it's like, I guess what would be the most disappointing match you had?
Probably Sabu.
Yeah, what was the second most?
Shit, man. I'm trying to.
And I'm not like asking you to bury anybody, but just like something that just like you had expectations in your head, and just for whatever reason.
Like the last couple of years, all of my matches have been pretty like fun. Like I never like walked out of a match like, wow, that was disappointing. Besides Sabu, that was like really, really like disappointing. Like I never really like was like, oh, I dropped the ball that bad, you know. It was like, but Sabu was the worst because that was like a match I wanted since I was a kid. So when he gets in, he's like all fucked up. He was still in better shape than I was with the fucking hip, but it's just like afterwards it was like shit. It was like I think I need to cool down and stop doing these bumps because I don't want to turn out like that. Of course, I didn't do. I haven't done it.
You haven't taken your own advice.
Yeah. So.
What was your most disappointing match?
Me and CM Punk had a match back in like 2002 or something. I think one of the Ted Petty things for Ian Rodden.
Because he had already had he had a rep at that point.
It was
a
just
little bit.
I had like been brought in, and then my like debut match in IW Mid-South, I won like the heavyweight title from Chris Hero. But we got
Really? Your debut?
Yeah.
Fucking Ian's such a weirdo.
Yeah, like I showed up and he's like, "We're gonna have you win the belt." I was like, I was so new to wrestling. I'm like, "The guy's gonna beat me up." I remember asking like, "Is that okay?" Because I don't even want that, man. Like, don't you know? I was like, don't like what kind of responsibilities does this entail?
It's actually Zandig sent a time machine back, and he's like, Ian, we're gonna fuck this kid up. We're gonna do. That's why Zandig invented the time machine.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like some kind of Ted Petty thing, and it was really cool on paper. I mean, like me and Punk were always close from like day one or whatever. It's just two Midwest straight edge dudes. But like, we went on like right after like maybe AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels, which is like anyone's sort of effed.
Yeah.
And then I think it was our first match ever, and we were like aware of each other and friends, but like we just, I don't know. It's almost like he had this view of me as like a video game character, and like I am still human. And I remember in the back he's like, "Do this," and I was like, I can't do that. He's like, "Well, just do it." And I'm like, "No, dude, I can't do it." He's like, "Oh, you'll be able to do it once we get out there." And I was like, "Okay." And then like every one of those things got messed up, but like I knew it. So like it was a lesson in being like, you're good at certain things, you're not good at certain things. So, you know, you stick to your strengths or whatever. But like I was a year into wrestling at that point. But like, so the whole match it was like, it's extra disappointing this many years you know, down the road where it's like, that'd be a nice one to throw on some kind of best of, but it's so truly terrible. And it's like, man, and like, it'd be nice to have some sweet match back then and be like, check it out, guys, me and CM Punk. So I think we had a couple, but that one in particular was just like, so
it sticks out as...
It does, because I genuinely think, and it's not his fault, it's not my fault, whatever, just so new situation, everything, but it's like one of, if not the worst matches of, like I think I watched it back once, like a year or so after that, and was just like, it's like, everything is botched, everything goes wrong, it's just a genuinely terrible match. And then you get then the other part is like, you get the fans that are like, that match is terrible, and you're like, I know.
Yes,
I'll be the first to say it's like the worst match I've ever had. It's not a bad match; it's the worst match I've ever had. So I always laugh that like there's this inherent stamp of approval that people think we put on all our stuff. We're all works in progress. We're all trying to get better all the time. Just because we had a match doesn't mean we think it was the best match ever.
It's just the match that occurred.
We had a match. So I always think it's so funny when people are like, "That match sucked," and you're like, "I might agree.
Yeah,
I might have beat you to the punch and been like." It was even worse than sucking, you know.
Right.
And then they're like, "It sucked," and you're like, "I know."
well, it's because you have. I mean, as a wrestler, you have specific insights into what went wrong, or you know, it's like what is disappointing to you. Whereas they're just watching it purely from a spectator, perspective.
I mean, and there are promoters, and it's the person paying you who might ask you to do specific things. And I've had stuff like that where like some fan would be like, "When this happened, it sucked, and this person sucks." Or
Why did this guy try to powerbomb Billy Kidman?
And it could be like literally a promoter. It's like, "I want you to do this," and you're like, "That's my boss."
Yeah, you
know?
pay me. Yeah.
But
Do you feel like in this day and age, I feel like when I grew up watching the indies, like IW Mid-South back in the day, there was a lot of matches like that didn't click. And now I feel like it's a little different. And there's not as much matches like that. Like, you know? Like
probably as a whole.
Yeah, like back in the day, there would be these matches like on the IWA. You see these fucking match, like oh my god, you see this fucking match, like that awkward hugging spot. You know, it's like you don't see that this is much anymore. I don't know what it is, but I feel like
caliber dudes, like the expectations is kind of raised.
Yeah.
Like kind of what you were saying earlier about like everyone, almost like MMA is like this hybrid cross trained, like super good. Like dudes are just so good. Back then it was like still a little Wild Westy, where it's like. this steelworker who's playing wrestler versus this city's steelworker who's playing wrestler, so they might be just like, we're gonna call it out there, brother, and then they get out there and they're not as good as they think they are, and it's just all the.
I would watch I have like the CZW like network, like they have like a CZW like.
Also, Highspots has a network, highspotsnetwork.com.
Highspots. I need I heard it's awesome.
It is
for that. But there's a CZW one, and it's like all the old CZW shows. So I go back and watch it. Like I don't watch anything like recent. I don't watch. I don't watch new independent wrestling. I watch old like 2003 CZW, and I watch it. Some of these matches are just fucking the worst, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like if this was in a ring today, like fuck. Especially like a Smart Mark promotion, like CZW at that time was like one of the top independent promotion in the United States, and they would blow the spot, and they would like do some kind of weird fucking driver, and the fans would all be like, it's like, what the fuck, man? It's like so different.
Probably we're more forgiving, it's true.
Well, I think the instinct in those situations when like, you know, guys aren't as sure of themselves is when things get off the track, like they don't have the wherewithal to grab a hold and just be like, fuck, let's regroup. It's like, I'm going to punch the shit out of this guy, and that's going to make everything better. And really, that just makes things deteriorate faster.
Like me, if I forget something now, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go to the top rope, cut me off. Okay, throw me off, front flip off top rope to the floor. I'll be all right. That's when you know my match really got off the rails. It's like, you see us running like an international spot where someone trips up, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to the top. Push me, I'll fall through a chair. See that chair over there?
This is where they're going to insert the 20-second montage if you get thrown up to the floor.
You just gave away too many secrets, brother.
Secrets of Joey Janela.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think the reason why you don't see as many of those like fucking off the rail spots is just guys are working more. You know, it's like, I mean, back in, you know, 02, 03, there was not, I mean, indie wrestling is, you know, paled in comparison to what it is now. There's many fewer opportunities for guys to work and gain that experience. And so it's like, you have guys that are just, you know, I mean, there's all, you know, there's like the Matt Riddles of the world who are just these freak athletes that, like, you know, just completely insane. But then you have guys that are just, you know, 1 or 2 years in, but they have, you know, maybe 100 matches under their belt. And it's like, how many years went by before you had 100 matches under your belt?
Yo, only wrestled 2 years. Desmond Xavier and the other one. And these guys, like, what the fuck? Shit. The fuck is going on? But also at the same time, I don't really watch independent wrestling today. I much rather watch independent wrestling than you guys. You know, you're still doing your fucking thing, killing it. But you know, you had your retirement. Like, I much rather watch an Excalibur match than
No, you wouldn't.
Than a Will Ospreay match. I'm telling you the fucking truth. I much rather.
I understand you're being genuine, but I'm saying there's something wrong with you.
I'd much rather watch an Excalibur match, Excalibur and Beef Wellington teaming up to take on somebody than watch a fucking Will Ospreay match. I love Will Ospreay. He's a fucking great athlete, nice guy. I met him a couple times, but this is my preference as a viewer of professional wrestling.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think we're about out of time-ish. 5 minutes? Was that what that is? 25?
Yeah.
I thought you said we were at an hour, like half an hour ago.
It's an hour more.
Oh, an hour more. Wow.
Oh, let's keep on going.
All right.
It's going well.
No, it is going well. I thought
I need to where's that other energy drink at?
Oh.
Is that a thing? Oh, sweet. Is that right? Oh, did you get yours or am I stealing yours?
You can drink it.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
go get one after.
Oh, is that cool?
Is it? You can have it.
Oh shit! I drank this one.
I got beer.
Okay. It's an energy drink.
I still gotta wrestle 2 more. I got beer. I gotta still wrestle 2 more times tonight. I'm very professional.
No, that's cool.
Wrestler.
Well, you don't have to wrestle for like 8 more hours.
You right?
Yeah. So.
I got water here too.
No, I'm good.
Get out
I
of
got
here.
this.
No, thank you.
Wow. So I had like a question we were gonna like end on a high note, but that was before I knew we had 25 more minutes to
What are we
fill.
talking about now?
Well, so I'm gonna ask that question anyway. What's the favorite match? What's your favorite match you've ever had?
Kind of like I think me and Leo, one of our matches, you know, because at that point, like after one of those matches, I realized like, you know, things kind of clicked at that moment. You know, it's like you work so hard. I worked for like 9 years before I even got here, like, I was working for $25 for like, 25 to like $60 for like 10 years, and then you have a couple matches, and all of a sudden your stock kind of raises, and you work so hard for that moment. So I think my match with Leo at Cage of Death, like, that was like one of my favorites. I wouldn't say like I was like fucking Jerry Lynn in that match, but it was like the crowd and just like everything came together after that. It was just like the pieces of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, came together. So that match and my return match versus Leo and everything. It's just like I don't know. I just like a snowball effect, I guess, from that Leo rivalry. I think we came into each other's careers at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like. We came in at the right time, and we, he's great. It was great and very memorable for me.
Yeah.
I remember it for the rest of my life, probably.
That's awesome. Matt, what's your favorite match?
It's so hard to answer something like that because it's like so many matches mean so many different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one time, like one could be strictly just the match.
Mm-hmm.
One could be the match and the crowd. One
Yeah,
could
the
be
circumstance.
what the opponent means to you. One can be the situation you are in life. So it's like so hard to narrow it down to like.
Well, what are some of your favorite matches?
Yeah. I mean, I remember wrestling RVD. It was a 3-way with Neville, RVD, and myself. And there's just so many like layers. So we're on the Canary Islands, which are like off the coast of Africa. So that in and of itself is like, what? Like all I cared about was ECW. So the fact like RVD was the man. So it's like the fact I'm gonna wrestle. I thought they were joking with me because they're like, oh, you're on with like RVD tonight, and I'm like, man, that's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you better get ready because it's like not even after intermission, it's before intermission. And I remember being like, that's not even a joke. Like, who am I wrestling? And they're like, Rob Van Dam. And I'm like, dude, this is a bad rib because I'm gonna get like real mad, like real life mad when you guys are like, when there's that moment of like, haha, you're not. I'm not gonna be like, oh, got me. We're gonna fight for real.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're wrestling him, and I'm like, man, I'm either really gonna have to fight somebody or I'm wrestling him, So I'm like, nope. And I'm like, even Neville the same way. He's like, no way. And I'm like, should we go plan this? I don't even know what's happening. So that was, I remember being, nervous too, because it's like 10,000 people, coast of Africa. This is RVD. Oh my God. The day before at lunch, I had told him a story about how my grandmother went bungee jumping when she turned 70. True story. So I'm nervous. This match is starting. We're about to lock up. I'm looking across the ring. He mouths something, and I'm like, oh shit, I already didn't hear him. Like, oh no, I'm so nervous. So then I'm like, hoping he'll say it again. Across the ring, he was like, your grandma bungee jumps, woo! Like, and I'm like, what? And then it helped me so much, because I went from being like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, to like, yeah, my grandma does bungee jump, dude. And I told RVD yesterday at lunch, like, let's just have fun.
Yeah.
And then we had a sweet match, because it was just, it just reframed everything. And then I was so appreciative of like, him and what a cool dude he is, and it was like, man. So that match meant a lot to me. But yeah, stuff like, obviously wrestling with Ultimo and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So there's somewhere it's just your opponent, because you're like when you get there to Sabu, and you're just like, I can't believe this. I was just like watching this guy. And then there's other ones where you're just in some new country, and you're like, this. I remember doing a show in Colombia, and before the show, as if this legit sporting event, like everyone came to the ring in this like ceremony. And then they played the national anthem of Colombia and stuff. And I remember getting like emotional. Because like, it was this arena of like 4,000 people singing this song that I've never heard. And all the wrestlers are like singing it. And they're just like, you could feel this like sense of pride that they had. And I was like the only American. So to be standing in this ring and like be part of this thing. Because you were like, I wear underpants and I like roll around with dudes. Like, what? Like my parents have real jobs. Like, what am I doing? But not in a negative way. Because normally we're like, what are we doing in a negative way? This was like, what am I doing in the like, this is amazing, and like, this is like a real moment in time and in life that I get to experience, and I almost felt like I didn't deserve it or something. Because I was like, I don't know. I got like emotional because I'm like, I don't know what the Colombian national anthem is. And these people are singing their heart out. It's like their life depends on it. And I'm there. And I don't know the song. And I'm just like, I'm like overtaken, but in a good way. It was just like, so I don't really remember the match, but like that experience was just like, wrestling can give you just the, like, it's so cliche to be like the highest highs and the lowest lows, but it's true. Like when you're hurt, you're like, this is the worst thing ever. I don't want to do it. And it's dumb. And it is dumb. And then you have some moment like that where you're like, without wrestling, I wouldn't be standing in Bogota, Colombia, having 4,000 people like sing this song in my presence where I'm getting like goosebumps. And it's like, it's just such a crazy, I mean, we do it for those moments and you weather the bad to get to those good ones. But yeah, it'd be hard to even like name like 10 matches or whatever, because matches can mean so much for so many different reasons.
I feel like, like the last couple of years, like, I'm just like, all my matches that I've ever asked for, like I'll go on Twitter and say, I want to wrestle this guy, and then a promoter books it. Like, fuck yeah, like Marty Jannetty, that stems from a story from, a while back. It's a long story, but I'm like, shit, I want to wrestle Marty Jannetty.
Well, we do have 25 minutes to fill.
Well, it's
you don't have to, but
it's one of the most ridiculous. Yeah,
I've told 25 fucking minutes to fill.
I've told it on podcasts, and this is a crazy story. So, Marty Jannetty. So I knew this guy, Damian Darling. He's kind of like a New York like scumbag indie wrestler. He used to date Sonny. I think they used to beat each other up with like throw glass bottles at each other. But
that's cool.
It's out there, so I could say I like Damian Darling. He knows who he is. He knows what he's done, but in this business and outside. But he was at a bar and he said, "Yo, what are you doing? Come by. I'm with Marty," because he's good friends with Marty. So, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not doing anything. You guys are like 20 minutes from my house. I'll go hang out with Marty. I've never met Marty Jannetty. I'm like, this is pretty fucking sick. I'll go drink with Marty Jannetty." So I get there, and Marty's shit hammered. He's doing some fucking shit like this, going, Wolfie, 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 like every fight. No one knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh, the Wolfie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolfie, oh yeah. So he's going up to girls, going, Wolfie, and dancing around. I'm like, holy shit, it's Marty Jannetty. I'm like, fuck. So, I'm like, this is just so bizarre. I love bizarre shit like that. So he's just Jack Daniel shot. And then it comes down, the tab comes, and Marty's like, I don't got no fucking money. Wolfie. Like, so the guys he's with, I said, yo, I said to the guys that he's with, I said, yo, I have shit on this tab. I'm not putting money towards Marty's tab. You guys gonna go to the fucking ATM. They did some podcast. You guys gonna pay for fucking Marty. You took him out. Fucking bullshit. So they end up taking money at ATM. The bill gets straightened out. Make sure that the waitress gets her tip. And so Marty walks out the building. I go to use the bathroom, and I walk out, and I see Damien and the podcast guys and a girl. They're all leaving. So I look. I'm like, where the fuck is Marty Jannetty? Like, he didn't drive home. I was close by. What the fuck happened to him? So I start hearing growing in a bush. I'm like, what the fuck? By a radiator, I go, and it's Marty. Marty's on the ground going, ah. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is Marty Jannetty. This is one half of the Rockers. This is a fucking, they left him here to rot in the fucking, next to the restaurant. So I said, I heard he lived in the town. I said, Marty, where do you live, man? He goes, I live around here in this town. Oh shit, man. What the fuck? I said, Marty, get in my car. I'll drive you, man. So Marty starts driving around. I said, Marty, where do you live? He said, I live on, I'm not going to say it, I live on N-word Street. I live on N-word Street. I said, Marty, no, where the fuck do you live, Marty? I live on N-word Street. Wolfie, this guy's fucking out of it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is funny at first. I'm like, this can't be happening. This is my life. My life has come full circle. But it goes on for an hour and 15 minutes where I'm driving around. I'm just like, Marty, where do you live? And he won't let it go. He keeps on saying it over and over again. This is where I live. I said, Marty, where the fuck do you live? So I said, oh, just drop me off at this mechanic shop. I know how to walk home from here. So then I said, all right, fuck off. I dropped him off, and I let him get out of the car, and I drive 10 minutes down the road, and it starts downpouring. Like, real bad, like summer, like tornado weather. I'm like, fuck, like, I can't, like, leave Marty in the rain. He's like, he's one half of the Rockers. He's the fucking Rockers, man. I go back to the fucking location, and I look, and I'm like, I don't see him walking down the road or anything. So I go back, and he's sleeping next to 2 oil chunks in the pouring rain. I said, Marty, get the fuck in my car. So then I had to pick up Marty and firemen carry him to my car and throw him in the passenger seat. So I said, Marty, where the fuck do you live? At this point, he's like fucking mangled, like basically almost in corpse form, going, I live on N-word Street. I said, you know what, fuck off. I let him pass out in my car. I take his phone and I call Eric Sims, who's like a super agent. He scams all the legends and gives them hotels and shit and takes a big chunk out of their fucking money. So I call Eric Sims. I said, where the fuck does Marty live? He's like, he was like,
321 N-word Street.
Yeah, Eric Sims is like, what the fuck is going on? I just woke him up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, rrr. So I was like, he was mumble jumbling. So then I got Marty's girlfriend's number. I was like, yeah, Marty's in my passenger seat. He doesn't know where he lives. She goes, he knows where the fuck he lives. Like, I was like, oh shit. I was like, so then she told me where he lives, and it turned out he lived directly across the street from the bar. The development, like, that was it. He lived the development directly across the street after an hour and a half. There's fucking bullshit going on. He lived directly across the street from the bar, and after that I was like, you know what? I need to wrestle Marty Jannetty. I need Marty Jannetty. I think I need one day for me to live my dream and have Marty Jannetty give me a fucking Canadian Destroyer on a show with my own name on it. So,
how much of any of that does he remember?
I don't think he remembers. I think he does remember kind of because he hit me up the other day. He was like, Joey, I think I still have your number from a couple years ago. So he thinks we met. He thinks we wrestled before. He was asking me like, oh, remember that time we wrestled in Parsippany, New Jersey? There's like me and you and a couple other guys. I'm like, that never fucking happened. You're thinking of someone else. Like, but that's Marty. He doesn't live on N-word Street, you know. It's very bad, you know. But he is Marty Jannetty, so I guess we'll give it a.
I just like how that.
I think we'll give it a pass for this. For this.
I like how that insane experience made you think, I want to wrestle him.
Yeah, I know.
That's my favorite part.
It's just like, I want to wrestle these guys, and I just like Scott Norton. I'm like, as soon as Scott Norton came back to New Japan, I'm like, dude, I need to wrestle Scott Norton. This is awesome. Fucking Scott Flash Norton. I'm like, shit. I put it on Twitter. I want to wrestle. And John Thorne hits me up. Hey, you want to wrestle Scott Norton? We're bringing Scott Norton. All right, cool. It's like maybe Scott Norton can be a Canadian Destroyer. Like,
I want to wrestle AJ Styles. Maybe I'm one tweet away.
Yeah, might happen.
I don't want to. I don't want to wrestle any of these guys today. Like, you know, like these great fucking athletes like Ricochet and stuff. I want to wrestle like Marty Jannetty. I want to wrestle Scott Norton. Like, I want to wrestle like the fucking Beverly Brothers or some shit. Like,
I mean, the odds of you wrestling a Ricochet or somebody like that are so much higher.
Oh, so much higher.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I want to wrestle Zandig. That's how I got to wrestle Zandig. I just went on Facebook and I said, I want to wrestle Zandig. Tried to throw me off a building, you piece of shit. And then he was like, all right, I will. He asked a few people, he's like, who is this piece of shit? And then he threw me off a fucking building.
What's your violent stepfather, man?
That's it.
Wrestling.
Like Marty, and who do I want to wrestle next?
Yeah, who's next?
Go here, yeah.
I hear Goldberg's going to be a free agent soon.
Oh. That'd be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And maybe like...
Maybe next year's spring break?
No, like I'm trying to think, like who would I want to wrestle next? Because I've wrestled everyone like I could think of, like all these like oddball names, you know. I don't know. Like I don't know who I want to wrestle now. Like it's like Rob Van Dam would be fucking awesome. Like Rob Van Dam I was a big mark for. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But Rob Van Dam would see me and be like, "Who the fuck is he?" Like.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess Marty Jannetty, like, that was it. That's my WrestleMania moment.
Matt, if I blindfolded you and put you in an office chair, spun you around like 250 times.
Yeah, I'd puke everywhere first,
But then I dropped you off at a mechanic shop within 1 mile of your house. Do you think you can find your way home?
Well, I live on Edward Street, so
Oh, okay.
I was just asking. Just asked the first person I saw. And they point me in the direction.
Oh, it's right off of Appleton.
Yeah, and we're in Appleton. I live right on the corner.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
I don't do well with dizziness, ironically, so that'd be all. Like, just you talking about that, like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
To be fair, if I see a picture of heights, like I get like the sweats. Like if
yeah.
you know, like the Grand Canyon where they have that the glass bridge.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know Kings Island in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
This is when I found out I was afraid of heights.
Okay.
We went there. I was 8, 9 years old. We go up to. They have a replica of the Eiffel Tower. It's this amusement park in Central Ohio, and replica of the Eiffel Tower. We go up, elevator up, doors open, and 8-year-old Excalibur's like, nope. Just like go back all the way to the wall, like because I mean you can see the entire park just from the elevator, and you know my family gets out and everybody's like, come on, what's wrong with you? Come on, and no, absolutely not. No, there's no way. And my cousin grabs my leg, he starts pulling me, and I'm holding on to the railing. Finally, he pulls me off the railing, and so like I'm on the floor, and it's like that grippy like metal like textured stuff, and I'm literally crawling, like clawing at the floor as he's trying to pull me. And then finally, like my cousin or my aunt was like, hey, let him go. And then so I just remember crying, just in tears, hysterical, as I rode the elevator down back from the Eiffel Tower along with the attendant who's like, oh, I'm getting paid $4.25 an hour to babysit this fucking hysterical
Oh,
child.
great. Another one of these.
Yeah.
I just picture you 8 years old with your mask on.
Yeah, and it's just damp for all the tears.
Yeah, it's like you're telling the story, and then it cuts to a clip of you, and it's like a kid with your mask on. That's you.
This was gonna
That would be cool.
That's what we should. Let's shoot that.
Yeah.
I had my guy. We'll do it.
There's a bunch of kids outside. You just throw my mask.
We'll just
on.
grab one, yeah.
No,
And then we'll do it legit, so it's
It's like we should pick up a kid and run away with him.
right. Yeah. So he'll be kidnapped and it'll be double afraid.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's for wrestling, right?
What's the Matt? What's the most frightening thing? What's like the most frightened you've ever been in your entire life? Not wrestling related, just in general.
I have no idea. I always think that like it'd be cool if you could hardwire your brain and like plug the USB of your brain into a computer and like literally categorically say something like that. Because I've thought before, like, I wonder when the most scared I've been or the most happy I've been or whatever. You know, it'd be interesting to like know, to be able to like quantify it. I don't know. Scared. I'm scared every weekend, right? Like, look what we do for a living. Like, legit. Like, I'm like conscious of it. You know, some guys are like, whatever, and I'm like, people die doing this, like die, and not in like a it's cool to say that way, like in a super not cool way of saying that. Like people die doing this, and I'm like aware of that, so I'm always scared.
So you're perpetually frightened.
I am, yeah. I'm scared of it.
Not the answer I was expecting.
So it's hard to like. I don't know. I remember one time jumping. There's another amusement. There was a Six Flags in Ohio that since closed down. It's called Jogga Lake at the time. I remember jumping from one car in a coaster to another. But like
Wait, what?
Yeah, because I figured out it didn't have any loops, so it didn't need the shoulder harness. It just had this guy, and if I could do like one of these, I could get out of it. And once I realized I could get out, I was like, well, what's the next step? I gotta And they took your picture, so I was like, if I time this right, I can. And I'm given none of this. I'm not answering your question at all. I'm really politicking my way around.
No. This is a great story that I want to hear the end of.
I wasn't scared of this at all. But I'm like, if I jump from one coaster to the next, or one car to the next, and it's when they take the picture, like, I win.
Which is usually on a down slope, right?
I can't remember. I don't remember. I mean, that makes sense. I don't remember.
Because you're supposed to be like, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, this will be amazing. Because, like, what a picture. So, and my buddy, who was a football player, big guy, so it's like, I'm in this car, the car behind us, no one is in, and then my buddy. At the time, and like, this is...
How old were you?
It's hard to say. 20 something. But I remember thinking if anything goes wrong, my buddy will just nab me out of there like a football, you know? Like, he's huge. Like, and that scares me looking back, because I'm like, that's so dumb. Because you know what would happen. It'd be like, he'd be like, but in our minds, he's like, I'll just grab you, dude. I'm like, yeah, he'll just grab you, dude.
That's
like,
how physics works, yeah.
It's not, and you know, it'd be like, and you'd be like,
yeah.
Oh, dude's dead. Like,
so do you have the picture?
So we go to do it. I'm all ready. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking sick, right? So I'm like ready for it. I'm going. Thing goes. I do it. I'm like, whoa! Like it works. I'm like, dude, I roll. We're all giddy. It pulls back in the station. I'm already thinking like, as if they would remember where you were seated to start. But I'm like, I'm not in the same seat. Everyone's gonna be popping. Like, yeah. We pull back in and stuff. We're running down to the picture park. Whoa. The picture comes up. And we're just like, because I'm like, 3 of the limbs are out. Like, my leg is out and both my arms are out. So I'm like, I'm like, woo, when everyone else is, like, ooh, we're a coaster, we're crazy. Like, I'm literally like, I'm out of this fucking thing.
Oh my god.
But in my head, I was like, ooh, it's so good, but like, I needed, in my head, all 4 limbs have to be out. Like, it's gotta be, like, so it looks superimposed. Because you could tell that I was still, I didn't like that. That had to be out. So I was like, let's go again. But we made such a big stink at the photo thing.
That
we're like, so I was the person working, is like, oh, what? So we go, wait in this line for 2 hours again, whatever it is. I'm getting up there to go. I'm like, yeah, this time I'm gonna nail it. This time I'm going real big. I go to get in the car, and they're like, whoa, you stop. And they grab me, and I'm like, what? And they're like, out of the park. I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, what do you mean why? Like, you're kicked out of the park. Like, we know what you did. I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like, and I'm thinking, like, and then the dude literally has the picture. And it's me wearing the same clothes, obviously, like partying. And I'm just like, and what do you even say? Because I'm just like, not me? And I was like, oh, no. And I'm like, can I have the picture at least? And he's like, no. Like, you can't have the picture and you're kicked out and like banned or whatever. And I was like, I should have just bought the freaking picture. Because it was like, it was so awesome. Like, it could have been awesomer, but all things could always be awesomer. But that's a big regret in life. But like, it's scary. If I want to try to tie it into your question, it's scary to think about like 10 or 15 years ago, how dumb that was, and like I didn't think it was dumb at all. That's a bit frightening. When you get older, you're like, that was really not smart. And again, to think that my buddy was gonna be like, boom, got you. Like, if something goes wrong, and I'm like, that could have been the end of me. Like, dude tries to, like, dies on a roller coaster. Oh, tragic accident. No, he tried to jump from one car to the next. Like, again, after having already done it once. Like, because he wanted a better picture or whatever. But, man, that's a regret, because that would be, like, my default picture still. It'd be me, like, 15 years ago, no beard, like, little kid, whatever. Just, like...
What park was that?
It was a Six Flags in Ohio.
Six Flags, Ohio. If you have that picture of
it's closed.
this whack job trying to jump out of a roller coaster, send it to him.
Somebody probably said
Yeah, that seems like somebody would have like put it up on the corkboard.
It's probably up in the fucking office.
Corporate office.
Yeah, corporate office.
Like somewhere.
Motherfucker.
Ara says, what the fuck?
So Joey, I have a 2-part question. The second question is going to be, what's the most frightening thing in your life? But the first part of the question is going to be, would you ever jump cars in a fucking moving roller coaster?
No, it's like, I've done some crazy, no, I see those videos on Facebook of those, the Russians that...
The building.
Like,
fucking this. Dude,
Right,
you're
like
fucking free climbed a church in Germany.
It's just like, I can't do that. I see them riding like those fucking, what's those hovercraft fucking things?
Mm-hmm. Like they get to the edge and like...
Yeah, they go like wobble. Like I can't even drive those on a fucking sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid.
I could be in a parking lot and I'd fall
But
off.
the most frightening thing ever I remember is when Undertaker fucking abducted Steve Austin from the hospital.
You were legitimately scared of that?
Yeah, I was fucking shaking. They brought him to the funeral parlor and they tried to embalm him. I thought Steve Austin was gonna die.
Was that before or after the Brian Pillman thing?
That was after. That was like the
way
Ministry
after,
of Darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty frightening.
Were you watching when the Brian Pillman thing went off? Did you think that like Brian Pillman was like
No,
murdered Steve
I don't
Austin?
think I was watching. I was watching WCW at the time.
Oh, okay.
Like I would switch back and forth until like '98, and then I watched both.
Were you you were a WCW guy to start?
No, I was a WWF guy. I guess Hogan.
But like Nitro switched you?
Yeah. I guess Hogan brought me to WCW because
Yeah.
Hogan brought me to the game.
Okay.
And then I guess when Hogan left WWF,
Like
I was
he was your guy growing up?
Yeah, I was like, who gives a shit about WWF anymore?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking watch Hollywood Hogan.
Matt, who was your guy growing up?
Hogan.
Yeah.
I also really love Dusty Rhodes, but I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
I just know that I did. And I only loosely remember it because we had a dog, and I talked my parents into naming it Dusty Rhodes. To be fair, my mom thought I said like a Dusty Rose. So she asked like this little kid, like, what do you want to name our dog? And she thought I was like some prodigy that's like,
Yeah.
Dusty Rose. And
This little
she was like,
yeah.
just can't even like pulling this poetic shit from like. And meanwhile, I just like it's like the fat white guy on TV that jiggles around, and I think he's cool because I'm an idiot at the time, So it's like, but I know I liked him for that reason. But we named our dog Dusty Rhodes. Like, So then even I had a tryout like a couple years ago, and he was still with us or whatever, and like he was at the performance center, and it was like really cool because I was just like, that's a dude I'd date my dog after.
Did you tell him?
No, I didn't really get any.
That would have been the first thing. Hey, how you doing? I used to have a dog name after you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want you to know I named my dog Dusty Rose. That's not my name.
Yeah, I felt like I wish I could have.
Yeah.
But
is that maybe your biggest regret in life?
in life, no, it would have been nice.
It's the roller coaster picture.
yeah, for sure. No, I'd have liked to tell him that. It would have been cool, like to share that with him, or whatever. I will say that like basically his instructions or whatever, like it was like promo day, and then he was instructing on us on what they might be looking for or whatever. So it was just purely instructive, right?
Yeah, not a lot of conversation.
But in him just being like someone could have come in and been like, hey guys, cut a minute promo, that's what we're about to do, here's the cameras, that's the setup, whatever. It could have been really dry. The way he was able to explain it was a promo in and of itself. And like the man had a gift. And maybe I'm biased because he was like one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, whatever. But like, it was insane. Like just him telling us instructions of like, here's what we'd like you to do. And not like here's an example of, but just here's what we'd like you to do. And I was just like, it was literally mesmerizing. And you're like, man, like, I'm like, that was a promo. Like he just cut the greatest promo ever. It wasn't even a promo. He's just telling us what we're about to do. And I was like, that's crazy. So it was cool to just have such a limited experience but see enough to be like, oh, it'd be really cool to like learn under him and all that. So yeah,
it's crazy how things come full circle in this business. Always, it seems like if you work hard enough, it will come full circle for you. Like even like I wrestled Mangled Sabu. Like shit.
Yeah, last night. I was at the Hall of Fame. It was Roman Reigns, Sergeant Slaughter, me. Like those are the first 3 rows in that line, and I'm thinking like, what? And I'm like, that's Sergeant Slaughter. Like, cause Hogan was my man too. And I'm like, Sergeant Slaughter. Like, that's Hulk Hogan. Like, that's the same. Like, when we're little kids being like, oh, like, look at that wrestling thing. I never even thought like, I'll be a wrestler. I wasn't even like, I couldn't even think that way. But it's just like, these are just this mesmerizing characters or whatever they are. Oh my God. And then I'm like, I'm at this Hall of Fame ceremony. Edge is like 6 rows behind me. And like, there's Sergeant Slaughter. Like, what? Like, this was bizarro things. You're like, it is nuts.
I hate to put myself over, but I teamed with Sergeant Slaughter once.
That's sweet.
Awesome. I super kicked the guy into the Cobra Club.
Who'd you wrestle?
It was like me when I did my Starman gimmick. I did Starman gimmick in New Jersey. It was kind of over like New Jersey at the time. Like
from the old pro wrestling.
Yeah. So I did that, and it was me and him versus Cobra Commander and the Sheik. California Sheik.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Florida Sheik, whatever he's from. But it was a weird match. Legit Cobra Commander. Sergeant Slaughter versus Cobra Commander. Legit.
Well, I think that's about where we're gonna end it. Matt, you have anything to plug? Wrestling Forever.
Oh, I started this company last Friday. Wrestling is forever. We all know that to be true, right? This is the craziest business. When I started wrestling in Josh Prohibition's mom's backyard. In 1998, here I am nearly 2 decades later. Josh has 2 beautiful young girls, a wife, a house. He's a teacher. He has everything going for him. He still wrestles, And none of us, we think that that's crazy a little bit, but none of us doesn't understand that. None of us doesn't believe that. Like, whether we're fans or not, the stuff sticks with us for life.
It's in your blood.
It is, and I like that it encompasses both the good and the bad. This is not wrestling is awesome, wrestling is neat, wrestling is forever. I broke my leg. It will get better when the weather changes and stuff. I'll feel that for the rest of my life. Whatever you did to your thumb, like all these bumps and bruises, we know it's with us. We know it's gonna catch up to us. Everything, good and bad. All these fantastic memories, the people I've met, that's so good. All these injuries, all these concussions, all these whatever, that's with me too. And that's the willing. I've just seen so much sacrifice. I've so like we're involved in this business where there's such passionate people, and so many times it works out. We've all seen the Kevin Owens and the Sami Zayns and Neville's and Seth Rollins going for sleeping when they're in town on my floor at my house to save some money to now the big time, and just to see that drive and that passion. So I'm not selling T-shirts and hoodies. That's what you get, but I'm selling passion because I've been so close to it at this level for so long, for nearly 20 years. So you know, again, I broke my leg this year. I had to do something to try to get some money coming in, and I just feel really strongly about this. So everything's the highest quality, and yeah, just supporting wrestling directly. I mean, I with a broken leg am going to the post office and sending the stuff out. You know, it's like a lot of people are making money on something that we own. You know, like wrestling is ours, man. Like it belongs to us, and not just as wrestlers, as fans too. And this is our time. That's why wrestling is becoming cool again. Because everyone's collectively decided it's going to be a thing. So. I mean, you can even hear me talking faster and stuff because I just feel strongly about all this stuff.
You're super stoked about this.
Wrestling belongs to us. It's mine, you know, and mine and yours, you know. And it's like, so yeah, that's just what this encompasses to me. So I just, yeah, wrestlingisforever.com. Please check it out. And people have asked me like who I'm working with or what cut of it I'm getting. It's me. It's 100% me. It's YouTube tutorials till 4 a.m. every night trying to figure it out. And that's DIY punk rock, you know, do it yourself. Because I had so many excuses of like, I really want to do this, but I don't know how to do a website. And then I decided that's not a good excuse. Like, people have excuses or they don't. And I subscribe to that in other areas of my life, and then I had to call myself out on it. Because like, people, you're never going to have time to go to the gym. You're find time to do this or that. You make time. You make time for what's important in your life, period. And I was like, man, I got to swallow my own pill here. Like, I'm quick to say a bunch of stuff like that. And then with this, I was like, well, I don't know about screen printing. Well, I don't know about hang tags. I don't know about the highest quality. I don't know about a website. And I was like, no, man, that's not going to cut it anymore. Like, I'm going to figure it out. So I just figured it all out. So, yeah, I feel strongly about it, and probably too strongly because now I'm taking up too much time. But
that's cool.
Check it out, and thank you guys.
Joey, anything?
Just my Twitter. I don't have any cool.
You don't have a cool t-shirt line to promote?
So.
What's your Twitter?
Janela baby, like little baby.
Oh, like the ultraviolet stepfather, crazy.
Yeah, like little Zandig. We need to get that picture made. Like,
there's gonna be a lot of pictures coming out of this.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone at home, Zandig is the father, his head, and then me is the baby.
And then me on a roller coaster in the background. Like,
buy his t-shirts.
Yeah, thanks.
That's it. That's it. Just follow me on Twitter. I'm just like, I like that. I'm addicted. My girlfriend wants to like beat the shit out of me every day because she's talking and I'm on my phone. Like, ooh, Twitter.
Well, this guy might book me to wrestle Scott Norton and Sabu in a three-way.
Look at, I'm vanity searching again, and these guys are putting me over. That's my life.
Well, cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being my my guinea pigs for this weird show.
Was it good? Like,
I don't know. Was it?
I don't know. That was pretty good.
Was it good for you?
This guy's saying it's good.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
Right on.
Bye. Oh wait, yeah. Oh.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Fight forever and ever and ever and ever.